If you've been in the market for any certain amount of time and you've made a purchase or sold shares in the market, or you've bought or sold options, I'm sure you've also made this fatal mistake. Hello my friends, this is Legend. So today we're going to talk a little bit about greed. It is a real thing. It does affect your mind because we all want just a little bit more, right? And by doing so, that could cause you to miss out on a play. And that's what I wanted to talk about today, because that is what happened to me on Friday. And we're looking at the Friday trading chart right here, and you can see where it did come out around this 672, it looks like, to 673. And it came down. I had my lower line right here drawn in at, looks like 671.93. And you can see it did end up dropping on below it. So I went and I got alerted because I had my bell right here. So when I got alerted, I went ahead and checked it out to see where it was headed. And I ended up putting a order out there to sell a put at 669. Now the reason I picked 669 is pretty simple. If we scroll back a little bit and I take it back, this line right here is just above that 669, right? But you can see it did come down and it did tap this line at around 669.66. So I thought, well, that looks like a pretty good support line. So I'm going to set my strike very close to this line. So let's go right back to where we were at. And this again is the Friday's trading day. And you can see, what did it come down to? It came down to 669.78. So it did come down to pretty much retest that previous low. Now I had my order out there and I was looking for that 669. But the premium I was asking for was around 275. Now, let's just take a look at my order just to show where I did have that order open. And here we are. This is that order, right? This is the SPY 669, and it was a day trade, right, for March the 6th. And that was Friday. And that was to sell a put for one contract, which equals 100 shares, right? Now, you can see this limit price shows them 175, okay? But originally it was 275 at the beginning of the day. I later changed it around the mid part of the day and thought, well, if I can get $1.75 at that point, I'll take it. But the way the stock was moving, it wasn't going to happen anyway. But I just went ahead and did that just in case if it did drop out. But the chances of it was pretty slim. So going back to that chart, and like I said, when it did break below this line and it started coming on down, I put in that 275 premium for that 669 strike. Now, that would have been just fine, and it actually would have executed. But you know what happened? Me happened, right? My greed is what happened. And as it was coming down, I saw it dropping, and it was dropping pretty fast, right? And I saw it getting down to 250, 260, and it was coming right up on my 275. And I thought, I'm going to go ahead and bump this thing to about $3, right? Because I would love to get a $3 per share premium on this one. So I changed that 275 to about $3, somewhere in this area, right? Where it's coming on down. I'm thinking, wow, if I can get $3, I'll take it, right? Well, it ended up going past that 275, so it would have executed or it would have filled, but I had already moved it to $3. And it got around 280 range before it started coming back up on the price. Therefore, that premium started dropping. So my $2.75 would have actually caught it pretty close to that bottom, and I should have left that premium alone. I would have then actually filled at 275 premium at that 669 strike. And as you can see, it actually closed at 672. Therefore, I would not have been assigned those shares. And that would have been $275 in my pocket. But I got greedy. I saw it moving down and I wanted more, right? I wanted more. Now I know I'm not the only one out there who has done that, right? You see something that's dropping on down and it looks like it's going to drop right on past the target that you selected, and you're second guessing yourself and you're thinking, well, I'm going to go ahead and move it because I want more. So you move it on down and it doesn't get there. Now, there are times where it actually does, right? It could have come down, picked me up, earned that $3 in premium, and I would have come out smelling like a rose, right? But when that doesn't work out, I turned around and lost $275 potential dollars earned, right? So I lost $275 because I was trying to get 25 more bucks. Just simply by moving that premium that I was asking from $275 to $3, that caused me to miss out on earning $275 because I watched it go past the $275, which would have filled it, but it did not get to $3. And at that point, I moved it back to $275, but it was too late because it had already went to $250. And that was around this area right here. And I was hoping it was going to come back down, pick me up, but it never did, right? At that point, it got to around 265 before moving on back up. Now, even 265 would have been good, but at that point, I was a little upset with myself for trying to chase it, right? I was trying to get ahead and trying to find if I can catch that bottom rather than just leaving that premium alone. And I wasn't even guaranteed of making the 275, right? It could have got to 270 and turned right around and started dropping, right? And that price start moving up and that premium for that put start dropping. That could have happened, but I would have been okay with that because that is the price that I did select. I was more upset with myself whenever I decided to move it at the last second, which caused it not to fill. And in the end, it cost me the trade because it did not get filled and I did not earn $275 for just the single day of selling a put on SPY. So has that ever happened to you? Have you been in a situation where the price of a stock is coming down, even if it's purchasing a stock or something, and if you have a buy price in there and you see that stock that you're watching it and it's coming on down and you've got a buy price here and this stock's coming on down and you're thinking, well, I'm going to move it on down just a bit more because I can get it at an even cheaper price. And it does. It comes right on down and it crosses right over where it would have bought those shares because that is the price you originally set to buy them at. But you thought, well, I'm going to move it on down because I want a better price. And it does. It drops past that. So it does not buy because you moved it. And it comes on down, gets close to it, and then it starts moving back up, and you miss out on that purchase. Now, that's not my first time of doing it, and I'm sure it won't be my last. I try not to do it, but there are times where that little voice in your head gets in there, and it says, move it, right? It says, move it. You can do better. And you end up causing yourself to miss out on a play. And that's what happened to me on Friday. So, like I said, I was a bit upset after doing that and then it moving away from my strike and that premium dropping. But hopefully we'll remember these times and we will learn from our mistakes. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't move a price because if it is dropping, maybe you can get it lower. But it's just in my situation, I moved it and then it didn't get filled. So then I'm upset over myself because I did move it. But I'm just curious out there if that's happened to anybody else, or is it just me, right? I doubt it's just me. So to help me next time, I created a little quick check sheet that I'm also going to be including in this package that I'm still working on, but it's getting closer, guys. It's really getting closer, I promise. And this check sheet, what it does is it gives you a check whether or not it's meeting your goal for the month. So you know what premium that you at least need to make in order to keep with that monthly goal that you're looking for. So say you have a monthly goal of about 5% per month. And that's a pretty good goal, right? Because honestly, if you look at 5% a month and we take that 5 and we take that times the 12 months, that's 60% in a year. And that is a very nice percentage on your money. So if we're going to shoot for about 5%, you can quickly enter in the information right here and it'll calculate out if that will meet a 5% goal or if you need to adjust that premium you're asking for in order to make that 5% for the month. So for instance, this SPY put that I was trying to sell, that was a day trade, right? So we're going to enter in this date of 3/6, and that ticker, of course, was just SPY. The expiration date, again, being a day trade, it's going to be the same expiration date. That strike that I was looking for was 669, and the premium that I was trying to earn was 2.75. How many contracts was I looking at the time? Was just one contract because that's worth 100 shares. So whenever I enter that information in, it's going to do all the calculations down here, which will then tell me, does that meet that 5% monthly goal or not? Boom. And there you go. Yes, it would meet that 5% monthly goal. And if you see, it actually is going to do 12.5% for the month. Goodness gracious, that's a very nice percent per month on your money, right? Because if I take 12.5 per month, take that times 12 months, so that would give me for the year of 150%. Now, all of this is just projected, calculated percentage rates out. This is not actually what is happening, right? This is just to give you an idea of what that trade would actually be if you calculated and projected that out for the full year. But at a 12.5% for the month, if you're looking at that, you're thinking, well, if my goal is 5, I could have asked for a much lower premium and still stay within my 5% per month goal. Now, I don't necessarily have to drop it down till it's 5%, right? Because making more than 5% is always good. But whenever I was looking to drop this premium down, I could have easily went in here and said, okay, how about $1.75? What is that actually going to give me for a projected monthly amount on my money? And that's going to give me a 7.9% on my money for the month. And that is some good money, right? So I could have easily just had it at that $1.75 when that premium started dropping and easily still made close to 8% projected for the month. So this is a quick little way, especially whenever the stock is moving and you need to see and decide, well, what premium can I select and still keep within my goal? Or use it more like just an FYI. If I'm going to make $2.25 in premium, what actually is that per week or per month, right? And that's going to give me a 2.36% on my money in a week, and that's a 10% on the month. Now that's projected out for the week, right? And that's projected out for the month because this is just a day trade. So definitely keep that in mind. I am not actually earning 2.3% in the week unless I'm doing this every day. Not saying that you can't, but that is what this is telling you. And that's why if I can keep a higher percentage per month than what my goal is, then for those days that I may only make a couple percent or no percent because I made no trades that day, then on the average of that, I can come out averaging around that same monthly goal. So that's the idea. But like I said, it does help you to know and helps you to select what premium you do need to help move your portfolio toward your goal. Now, of course, here is my options tracker, and this is for selling those covered calls and cash secured puts. And as you can see, currently I'm at $2,671 that I've earned since pretty much the 1st of February. That's January the 29th is my first trade that I was recording on this options tracker. So I've made $2,600 in little over a month. Not too bad, right? But that little quick check, that's going to help because I can easily, quickly see what minimum premium do I need to make that monthly goal. And that's going to kick out what that monthly calculated rate is. And that's going to help me decide what premium I'm going to ask for whenever I'm selling my puts or selling my calls. If you'd like to come over, join the Discord where you can get a copy of my high yield ETF stock tracker sheet, and coming soon will be my options tracker, then we'd love to have you. The link will be in the pinned comments and down in the description below. So I think I'm going to wrap it up right there. If you don't mind, hit that subscribe button and smash the like button, as it would be much appreciated. And as always, I am not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence before you get into any stock plays. And until next time, legend out.